Hi everyone, I just came back from the market where I just bought all this food, which is for the 10-day detox challenge. We're starting day 1 today of the 369 medical medium cleanse. And I thought I might as well show it to you because I've arranged it so beautifully on this table so that you can see just how much food one eats when you don't have things like rice and spaghetti and other gloopy foods like this, but you're just eating raw fruits and vegetables for the entire 9 days. So I thought I would take you through it. So let me show you. We have 3 different types of lettuce. I have this, I'll show you this. This is this wonderful rucola over here, which is wonderful because you're going to be having salads every day. We're living in Italy, so the salads are wonderful, especially in the spring. This is valeriana, or lamb's lettuce. And then that's mesclun. And the thing about greens, and there's a lot of green, do you know that 32% of the entire surface of the planet is green? And since our bodies are the equivalent of the planet, it's very interesting in terms of actually the mass of land versus water, and we also have liquids as opposed to our bodily mass, is actually the same percentage as the planet. Well, according to that, also, that means that 32% of what we should eat is green, and that's why there's a lot of greens here. What else do I have? Look. This is fresh spinach, and all of this we're going to be eating raw. What else? I've got something here. Oh. And then because we're in the spring, you have all of these wilds. The wild greens, this grows actually because we're close to Venice. This grows by the sea, and I have forgotten what it's called. Like every time I buy it, it has a little bit of a salty taste to it, but I just chop it up and I use it as chives because we don't have chives. So therefore, you know, if I'm looking for things that I had at home or in Kansas or in the UK or in France or other places where I lived, I go local and I see what they have and then I add that. What else do we have? Of course, this beautiful fennel, which you can chop very, very fine with a mandolin. And almost it looks almost like onions. And you can mix that with lemon or a little bit of orange juice. And it becomes this, and also some tomatoes, and it's marvelous for a salad. And I'll tell you a secret, that you know these little fronds on top? I take the fronds off, and I chop them very fine, and then I sprinkle them on top. So, and also I'll tell you a secret. Of course, because we're in Italy, we have lovely oranges, and it's blood orange season. And I learned when I lived in Sardinia, I was in Sardinia over the detox, a wonderful salad where they would cut oranges up, so it'd be like a carpaccio of oranges, and then I would have very, very finely cut fennel on top, and then a squeeze of lemon, and also that I would chop fine garlic on top of that, and then a bit of cashew nuts. And that was my lunch for almost through for about a couple of months. But it was when I really understood and started realizing just how much raw food, which is what we're going to be having principally in this diet, and how good it is for you. So let me continue. Now, the basis of the 369 is asparagus. Now, I'm sure you know already the detox ability of asparagus, because you know when you pee it smells. Well, that's because it's doing a very good job of cleaning your inside. So we're going to have just bunches of asparagus with fresh lemon on top. And I think that's about 3 meals, which is why, because there's 2 of us, I have 5 bits of asparagus. Asparagus has just come out, and I'll also tell you something else. The thing interesting about asparagus is that asparagus, it's a plant, but actually it's a tree. If it were to continue to grow, it's a tree. So you can imagine just how good this is for you. You're eating actually small trees when you're having asparagus. Now, because I'm making some healing broth, I've got some wonderful leeks. And also I'll tell you another secret. All of the parts of the vegetables I don't use, for example, like this part here, I throw into a bucket and I keep that by the side of where the stove is. And then I actually make my broth from the from the disposed of leaves. So you can use everything. Also the end bits of the leeks you can also use in your broth. It's what French cooks do, by the way, every couple of days. So this isn't just something to do with healing, but also it tastes good, and also I feel good knowing that I'm using everything, every part of the vegetable I can. Nothing goes to waste. Now another basis is Brussels sprouts. And Brussels sprouts are also very well known for their healing capacity, and also the speciality of the detox. And we'll be also having steamed Brussels sprouts with lemon and garlic on top. I'm also now starting to enjoy these raw. You also chop them fine. There's so many things in vegetables that I used to think that I could only eat them cooked. And as you start becoming cleaner in your system, you find that you can actually eat them raw and they taste better. Or if that's a bit too strong, you can just pour a bit of water on top of it and blanch them. And that will make them a little bit softer. Now what else do we have? Of course there's a basis. That lemons for lemon water. There you go. I'll be drinking about 2 liters of lemon water a day, and especially to flush my system, to help the liver really do a deeper detox. So I travel with these things, by the way. I put them in my bag because whenever I go and I have some water, I add a little bit of lemon. It changes the pH in the water. It makes it more that I can, my body absorbs the hydration possibilities of the lemons more. And we've got some beautiful cucumbers. And then, of course, now look at this marvelous bunch. And of course, in terms of greens again, look at that celery. What am I saying? That parsley. Isn't that wonderful? I can chop that up fine into salads. I can sprinkle it on top of the vegetables. It has a wonderful purifying effect, and it tastes good. I crave parsley, actually. So I'll be sprinkling it on practically most everything that I will be making. And I've got some wonderful, look at this, because it's spring. You've got some lovely spring onions. Look at those, aren't they wonderful? Which you can also chop fine onto the salads. And let's see here. What else do we have? Okay, maybe some things you've never seen before. It's the very end of the season of Radicchio di Treviso. Isn't it? No, look, isn't it? It's almost like a piece of art. Look at this, the lovely curls at the end. And Radicchio di Treviso is, you can either eat it raw, you can make it into risottos by chopping it. It's a cousin of the normal radicchio that you might know. In this area that we live, Friuli is really the home of radicchio. They have all of these different varieties of radicchio that I'd never seen before. I'd only seen the dark purple one that looks a bit like a cabbage. And they have little sprout ones that look like lettuce. And they have this, which you can, it's almost a speciality. And what you do is you cut it in half, and you open it, and you pour a little bit of olive oil on top, and you grill them. And also if you put a little bit of balsamic vinegar, I know that it's not really medical medium, but it does taste good because radicchio can be a little bit bitter. And it's a very meaty flavor. It almost tastes like artichokes in some ways. So I just got 2. These are almost out of season. Then you have these wonderful green onions, which you can see, which are absolutely marvelous there. And what else do we have? Of course, peppers. There you go. Which I'll also be chopping up very fine and putting them into salad. I don't really like the green peppers. They're the same, by the way. It just depends on how long they've been on the plant, whether they're yellow. You can see the yellow actually was originally green. They just from the green, it's just an earlier pepper. It turned into a yellow pepper, or also the green turned into this red pepper. So I got 1 of each. And I'll be making my broth. So they have these wonderful fresh mushrooms. which I chop up into healing broth. You can always look up any of these recipes. It's medical medium healing broth. We'll show you how to make this recipe per day. And then because it's the winter, oh, I've got one more. This is for the end of the cleanse on day 10. I'm going to be making a kombucha squash soup to balance myself and to get my system ready back into eating normal food again. And therefore, because the 9 days will be having no oil, this is also going to have no oil in it, and it will be just a nice, calming, comforting soup to adjust my body back again. And then when it comes to the last thing, no, I'm going to tell you one more thing. And then, of course, anyone who knows me knows just how much I love celery. I have not enough words of praise for this wonderful herb. I drink 440 milliliters or 16 ounces of celery juice, pure celery juice a day. And that is the same with this cleanse. Actually, I've been doing this for 7 years. And that really shows how much I believe in this. I'm not just showing this to you. But this is really life-changing in terms of actually cleaning out your system. And people talk about actually balancing the bacteria in the gut. Medical medium, or Anthony William, actually describes that a bit better. And he says, which makes sense, he said, what you want to do is not eat fermented foods, because the bacteria that's on fermented foods is bacteria on things that are dying and decaying. And that's very different from the bacteria that you have in your gut, which is on things that are alive. And so what you want to do is, instead of eating fermented food isn't bad for you, but don't eat it thinking that it's actually good for you. You want to eat these healing fruits and vegetables that actually have the correct bacteria in them, the good bacteria, to put into your stomach. Now, good bacteria doesn't kill bad bacteria. So just because you're having the good bacteria, what are you going to do to kill the bad bacteria? That's what you do. That's why we are stopping eating gluten and dairy and corn and soy and pork and lamb and eggs. These are the type of things that the bad bacteria that you have in your gut consume and live on. And so when you stop eating that and you start drinking celery juice, that is what it binds the bad bacteria onto it, and it removes it, and it takes it out so that you excrete it during these 9 days. And I can tell you that it stinks, so you know that something is going on. You will be able to tell during these 9 days that a lot is going on in your gut. Not only are you going to be losing weight, but it also improves your skin tone. Your skin looks hydrated. Once again, I can say I've been doing this for 7 years, twice a year. I'm 63 years old, and I do look younger than I did a decade ago. And that is also recuperating from the life-threatening cancer which I had on my cheek. It was a very deep melanoma. And even though I always had healthy food, it switched me to actually supercharging my journey into understanding health in a deeper way. And I included also food, and especially understanding food this way. And celery is the basis of that. So I think I've got everything. And of course, in terms of fruit, because we're living in Italy, there are going to be a lot of apples that we are going to be eating almost twice a day. Apples are also probably one of the best colon cleansing fruits that there is. When they say that an apple a day keeps the doctor away, it's true. So we'll be having almost 2 apples a day, and also 1 to 4 dates. And because of this, I also have tropical fruits, because we're in this, we're just before spring. So where we are living, I added some papaya, some bananas, and the first, here we go, the first strawberries have just come out. So I'll be adding that into the morning smoothies that we have. And I think I've done that. Oh yeah, and then of course, these are more jalapenos. And if you are going to be eating food that doesn't have salt, because we're not going to be having salt, when you add something which is hot and spicy, and this is extremely good for you, it's very good for also cleansing the gut, it gives a kick to the food while your taste buds are adjusting to not having salt, because if not, it might start feeling bland. And something is very interesting, that when you are eating without salt, initially it does taste bland, but you just have to give your taste buds a couple of days, and then suddenly you'll start feeling and tasting the food in a deeper way. And parts of food that you never expected, it's like it comes alive in your mouth. So that is it. Have I done it? Yes, I've taken you all through it. Now I can go, and I took a photograph of it, for the group that I'm taking it through, and now I can go and put it into the refrigerator. But I hope you enjoyed this. And if you want to still come on the cleanse, or you can also, if it's not very good for you to do the challenge, still you can come onto my website and have a look at it, because it's going to be turning into a course that you can do at any time. So it's taking you through the 369 Medical Medium Liver Rescue. It's, once again, I've been doing this for 7 years, twice a year, once in the spring and once in the autumn. And it really is like doing a spring clean of your closet. It sets you up for the rest for the summer, and it also makes you lose some bad habits that you've had over the winter time. It recharges and revitalizes your body and your energy levels. And that's why I'm doing it, and that's why people have asked me about that, and that's why I said, okay, I'm going to take you through it. And so really that's what that is. And I hope that you enjoyed it. I will be doing the occasional video on YouTube about it, but that's not going to be the principal area of what I'm going to be doing. But I had to share my journey with you, because eating food this way is a principal part of who I am today and what I can share with you. Because if you're feeling good within yourself and you're eating the right foods, then everything changes, your perspectives change. If you're filled with toxins and pathogens and you're feeling very heavy and sluggish, then of course if you're eating, you start craving sugar and caffeine and chocolate and all of these things to give you the energy that you're searching for. Whereas in fact, when you and that's, of course, that's the direction. It's not the right direction, because it just makes you crave more things to give you that energy. Whereas if you stop and you do a reset, and you need to actually do that not just by eating healthy all the time, but by doing a deep detox. It's like a spring clean. Then you're set up on the right track, and it also clears your mind so that you can also think in a broader way and have a different perspective, because how you are is how the world is and how you see the world. And it makes an enormous difference for, we can't change so many things that are outside of us, but what we can do is change how we are with them. And how to do that is by coming inside of yourself and taking care of yourself in a deeper way. That's all about building these deep foundations within yourself. So take care. If you have any questions, write on the comments. Of course, that means that I want you to sign up on the YouTube channel. But I do answer the questions. Every single person that writes me with a question, I answer it. I take it very seriously, what I can do to give you, to help put you back on track to being the best person that you can be, so that you can share that with the world. The world needs that. The world needs you.